Welcome to NSL Soccer, presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. So glad you could be with us on CBC Gem today as AFC Toronto hosts the Halifax Tides from York Lions Stadium. I'm Signa Butler on play-by-play. A steamy 30-degree day in Northern Toronto for this inaugural Pride match for AFC Toronto, celebrating inclusivity, identity, and community. Well, as for AFC Toronto, they come in surging to second place in the standings, back-to-back wins, including a 2-1 win over the Calgary Wild, where it was all about Michaela Small leading off the goal scoring with another Meg goal. She did that 2 games in a row, and she was not done there. This one, covering the back post, cutting to the inside, and then a curling left-footed shot, showing that she can do it from small spaces, and that's something that Halifax Tides coach Lewis Page says they're aware of today, not giving her much room. She has been the most consistent performer on Marko Milanovic's roster, and talking to him this week, he said he was just ecstatic for Small to get on the score sheet. She's been so consistent, but rewarded statistically with 3 goals in her last 2 games. As for Halifax, they picked up their first win of the season June 10th, a rainy night in the Nova Scotia capital. Tenacious second half, and this one tying the game up. Megumi Nakamura, the shot was blocked from Sydney Kennedy, and she picked up the rebound, made no mistake at all to tie the game up. But it was their captain, Gunny Jonsdottir, stepping back, and this volley right here off the post and in, and it was just mayhem, the celebrations, the dancing, and it didn't matter what kind of a miserable night weather-wise it was. The Halifax team and their fans sent home happy. Well, Gunny Jonsdottir not in the lineup tonight, but Sydney Kennedy, who was an engineer on basically both of those goals, their most consistent performer of the season, 9 crosses in their last match against Ottawa, and Marko Milanovic of AFC Toronto saying they're well aware of what Kennedy can do on that left side. Well, just ahead, we'll have the starting 11s for both teams, and we'll hear from some key fullbacks from both teams as the fans continue to stream in at York Lions Stadium in Toronto. You're watching NSL Soccer on CBC Gem. You're watching the Northern Super League on CBC Gem. Kickoff is coming up, but first we have, of course, your starting 11s from York Lions Stadium in Toronto, the inaugural Pride match, and everyone here happy to watch this soccer match get going. A couple changes in the starting 11 for AFC Toronto. Aoi Kazaki comes into the starting lineup, and Ashley Cathro back into the starting lineup. A big loss for AFC Toronto this week as Shayna Ashuri and the team parting ways mutually. Shayna Ashuri had played essentially all of the minutes at right midfield, so that'll be one to watch today. We caught up with Croy Soto, who's been an anchor on the back line for the last 2 matches before the match. I'm joined pitch side by AFC Toronto's Croy Soto. You've started and played 90 minutes in back-to-back wins. I'm wondering what qualities do you feel you bring to the back line?
I honestly think that my experience and my communication have helped us tremendously. I just try to honestly do anything I can for this team, and luckily it's been working out for us. I feel like we are in a really good place, and we know what we need to do. And yeah, we're just continuing to push progress forward. Sorry.
What do you feel the keys are defensively against a Halifax team coming in with confidence after their first win of the season?
I think we need to just stay completely organized. We need to communicate. We need to not take any opponent lightly. We also need to just do the little things correctly and simplify it, because honestly, the simpler the better.
Croy, good luck today in AFC Toronto's inaugural Pride match.
Thank you.
As for the Halifax Tides, their starting 11 looks a little different as well. 2 changes, and they are big ones. Gunny Jonsdottir, unavailable, ruled out because of a knock. And Addie Wickers, who's played every single match, 90 minutes at center back, out of the lineup. Annika Leslie in, replacing her. And Gianna Creighton coming in to the midfield. That back line is going to have a lot to worry about against AFC Toronto today, and we caught up with Kylie Norkus ahead of the match. Kylie Norkus of the Halifax Tides joins me now pitch side. 11 days ago, the Tides picked up their first win of the season. How excited are you to get back on the pitch? I mean, you must have been jonesing to get back out there.
Yeah, we're all stoked. I mean, that was the first one in the season, so we have like a lot of momentum carrying into this next game, and we're hyped up. So we're ready to go.
You're playing AFC Toronto, known for their explosive front line. What are the keys to victory for the Tides today?
To play our own game, our own style, not focus on them too much, just focus internally on all of us. And like I said right before, to keep that momentum rolling forward on like the positive note.
Awesome. Kylie, congratulations on that first win, and looking forward to this one today. We're just moments away from kickoff. Wonderful scenes here from the supporters of AFC Toronto in their Pride match today. Great atmosphere on a hot day in Toronto. The surging AFC Toronto in second place right now against Sydney Kennedy's Halifax Tides, picked up their first win 11 days ago. As we get ready to start, Esther Okoronkwo will get things underway. This is the Northern Super League on CBC Gem. Okoronkwo kicking things off, and Emma Regan will send it in deep. Barnett putting some pressure on Eva Fremont. And on the attack already, it is Kaylee Hunter. To Small, coming off 3 goals in 2 games. Michaela Small. Referee for today's match, Carly Shaw McLaren, originally from Prince George, BC, now living in the Ottawa area. Joined by Marie-Han Gagnon-Chrétien and Shaquia Tajik. Soto out wide to Barnett. The left foot across, quickly into the box and handled by Annika Leslie. Nice turn by Kayla Hansen. Mullins was looking for Okoronkwo. That'll go to bounds, but it did take a deflection, pardon me. There's Coach Marko Milanovic saying his team passed the mental test against Vancouver on that road trip, coming off a 4-0 loss to Ottawa, their worst performance of the season. And then passing the physical test. 3rd game in 8 days, winning against Calgary on the road, and now find themselves back in the confines of York Lions Stadium. changes in the lineup for AFC Toronto. One notable, Shayna Ashuri, as we talked about earlier in the show, parting ways mutually with the team, so a big gap in right midfield. Lewis Page and his squad a little shorthanded today themselves. Got a Jonsdottir unavailable due to a knock. Just ruled out yesterday. So Gianna Crichton stepping in there. Here's Crichton handing off to Fremo. Skillful player, Fremo. Ooh, Lemire's in some trouble. And McLeod just knocked it wide to Leslie, and she'll get it up the pitch. Was looking to that far side, decided to come to Barnett on this side, and out for a Halifax throw. Gianna Crichton taking that central midfield role today in place of Jonsdottir. Nice crowd on hand at York Lions Stadium, looking for an early goal from their team. Okoronkwo. Some jumpy opening minutes for both teams. Crichton to Lemire. Norcus looking for Kennedy. She had a nice touch forward. Great first touch. And Kennedy, the early cross in. A deflection and an own goal. But it was a dangerous early cross from Sydney Kennedy that caused trouble. And the Tides are up 1-0. Will be an own goal, but engineered by Sydney Kennedy. All set up by that lovely first touch. And off the foot of Sarah Rollins and in the goal. No chance for Sophia Manor, so AFC Toronto finding themselves on their back heels early in this match. Rollins, a late addition into the lineup today. Ashley Cathro was scheduled to start, but Rollins comes into the match. The UBC standout, two-time U Sports champions with the Thunderbirds. Unfortunate touch off her foot into the goal. A corner kick. Emma Regan on the ball, looking for an in-swinger. Reach of McLeod, and she gets a handle on it. And I think that was Rollins who almost had a shot there, or it was Hansen. Have another look at that. Excellent delivery in the box by Emma Regan. And it was Kayla Hansen who had a free volley. But offside was the call. Kayla Hansen out of Burnaby, BC, just had the chance to be with friends and family on their most recent road trip. Playing at Swangard Stadium, where she and Emma Regan grew up running track and field. Nakamura, a nice turn to escape trouble. Lemieux to Kennedy. Kennedy battling against Nikki Small. Turns back. Lemieux able to keep that alive. Norcus playing back for Annika Leslie. Leslie getting her second start of the season after joining the team late from West Virginia, where she was the captain of the university squad there. A local product. Won by Leslie, out for a throw. These two teams met about a month ago at the Wanderers grounds in Halifax, where it was Colby Barnett's goal early in the match that gave AFC Toronto a 1-0 win. And right now the score the opposite direction for the Tides over AFC. Ball a little slick on the surface, which was watered before the game, sliding out under McLeod's foot. Regan on the ball, 10 minutes in, looking for an equalizer. Delivery wasn't as sharp as the last one. Nakamura was in trouble there. Regan. Hunter to Okoronkwo. The cross in, headed away. Small. Ball to the back post. Okoronkwo's there. Barnett trying to go 1v1. That's a nice tackle by Fremont. Barnett looks shaken up. Charlie Horse for Barnett. Rollins looking direct for perhaps Okoronkwo, out of bounds. Twenty-year-old Toronto product out of North Toronto, Sarah Rollins. Carly Shaw McLaren will have a word with Colby Barnett, saying delay of game, that's usually a yellow, so I'll give you a break this time. Olai. Sara Olai out of Sweden. Kicking the ball up the field, looking for Sorolla Miller. Olai and Addie Wickers had played virtually every minute for the Halifax Tides at center back, and Wickers unavailable today, did not travel with the team, so Annika Leslie stepping into that space. Miller opening up. Tackled from behind, won by Barnett. Nicely played by Regan. Hunter, a little too much on that pass for Okoronkwo. But a right idea. "42-year-old Erin McLeod. Two-time Olympic medalist with Canada. Ball skips over Okoronkwo. Leslie's pass, a little heavy for Norcas. Nice moment at the kickoff with Aoi Kazaki and Maguma Nakamura having a few words, both Japanese players in the league. Shoulder-to-shoulder bump with Okoronkwo, and Olai bounces off on the ground, and good recovery by Fremo. Just lost her footing, but Fremo able to get it out for a throw-in. Ball. Looking forward, looking for some space. Closed down by Crichton. Miller looking for Clegg. And Manor well off her line and getting that ball forward. Norcas not taking any chances with Kazaki on her back. Out for a goal kick. Kylie Norcas among the Halifax defenders. Look what tasked this trifecta up front of AFC Toronto has been causing all kinds of trouble this season for defenders. Kaylee Hunter with 2 goals, Esther Okoronkwo with 3 goals, and Nikki Small now with 3 goals. But so far, it's Halifax up 1-0. Crichton with the help defense there to strip Kaylee Hunter of the ball. McLeod had to be quick. And Halifax not out of trouble yet. The ball over top to Okoronkwo. What a save by Aaron McLeod! Hunter, great footwork, and cleared away. Out for a goal kick. Wonderful delivery in by Colby Barnett over the head of Annika Leslie, and McLeod read that the entire way, ready to pop off her line. A glorious chance for one of the deadliest strikers in the league, Esther Okoronkwo. Well, Erin McLeod might be the oldest player in the league, but she's still got it. Those are the kinds of saves that really ignite a team. Halifax had been on their back heel there. Rollins switching play off the neck of Pickett. And Karima Lemire is on attack, trying to slide through for Nakamura. Finishing pass wasn't there. And in transition, Kazaki. Framo got a foot on it. A little too casual at midfield. Barnett's cross too far. Kennedy to Nakamura. Oh, to Clegg, and just a little off the touch there. It's one thing that Lewis Page talked about this week was the budding partnership between Nakamura and Millie Clegg up front, the New Zealand international. Through the legs of McLeod, and you heard the ooh and ah from the crowd. Some sloppy moments. Hansen will reset the team as Toronto tries to get their shape back. Crichton got tripped up by the turf. Pickett to Hunter. Hunter going 1v1, looking for the strike. Oh, and what a blast from the 17-year-old. Kaylee Hunter ties up the game at 1. It's not to bed yet, but it's 1-1. Opens up her body well, few touches, and then finds the gap and able to bury it by Erin McLeod, who moments ago just made a great save on Esther Okoronkwo. But Kaylee Hunter with her 3rd of the season, Northern Super League's Rookie of the Week, getting her team back into this match.
AFC Toronto goal scored in the 22nd minute by number 11.
There's Hunter. Hunter, little too much space. Lemire turns, not out of trouble yet. And that was something Coach Lewis Page said he wanted to avoid this match, was having that trifecta turn and go at them. That's something that they have a desire to do. That's Small, Hunter, and Okoronkwo. Of course, every coach says no turns close to goal, but in particular, this Toronto team. Barnett. And Okoronkwo going 1v1. Does escape end line, but Crichton gets it out for a corner kick. And Emma Regan on the delivery, going far post, looking for Nikki Small, and that will curl out of bounds. Let's take another look at the goal from Kaylee Hunter of AFC Toronto. You see, she just found that space in between the defenders, right inside the post, to tie this up at 1-1. Earlier action in Northern Super League saw the Ottawa Rapid with a 3-1 win over the Calgary Wild. Olai. Miller was working hard to get that ball, and again, here's Hunter with some space. A timely tackle by Olai, and Hunter was flying. Okoronkwo trying to thread a pass into Hunter. And that's another partnership that's been really brewing for AFC Toronto, Esther Okoronkwo and Kaylee Hunter. Hansen found the head of Hunter. Now Barnett coming, charging. The right foot across, headed away by Nakamura. Regan. Kazaki. And McLeod making sure that went out the touchline. Howie Kazaki looking to that back post. Small beats Norkus. And then Getting closed down by two Tides defenders. Kennedy looking forward to Clegg. Millie Clegg against Soto. Halifax with a little space. Olai. That's a nice ball to Nakamura. Nakamura looking for a sliding Clegg, not out of trouble yet. Soto squeaks it out to Barnett. And the ball played through to Okoronkwo, onside at this stage. Okoronkwo cutting back, looking for Hunter, and it was too far. AFC Toronto in transition. A great opportunity. Just the finishing pass not there. Much to the relief of the Tides, who are a little on the back foot. Small against Norcus. Turns and inside. Couldn't get the cross in. Kazaki. And McLeod off her line to scoop it up. Kennedy running forward, some miscommunication there. Rollins able to turn. And Small settling it back to Rollins. From O, back to Olai. Kennedy closed down by Small, and Okoronkwo is going the other way. Barnett. Through to Hunter, runs a little long. 1-1 game between AFC Toronto and the Halifax Tides. You're watching the NSL on CBC Gem, presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. Coach Marko Milanovic may not have been happy with the way his team started. Of course, an early own goal, but have rebounded nicely. Goal by the 17-year-old Kaylee Hunter in the 22nd minute to equalize at 1-1. Throw in on the far side of the pitch. Kennedy closed down by Small, was stuck to her like glue, but the foul will go against Small. Small, the league's tackles leader, on top of her 3 goals and 3 assists. She's got 38 tackles plus change from this game. So no surprise to see her stuck like glue to Halifax's top player, Sid Kennedy. Lovely turn by Nakamura. Leslie back to McLeod. Out to Fremo. Rollins under some pressure. Go back to Manor. Pace picking up. Nakamura trying to turn against Soto. Nowhere to go. Barnett, nice defending against Miller. And the Tides trying to get something going, just the touches aren't quite there. A couple players on the turf. Lewis Page taking in the action, his team with that early goal. Clegg is looking for a foul, doesn't get it. And AFC Toronto playing quickly, finding Small on the right side. Regan taking her space. Little give and go with Hunter. And Olai got the tackle in there just in time. And you know, as a goalie, you love to see a timely tackle. McLeod certainly did. Regan taking her space and slides that ball into Hunter, and Olai came across just in time. Hunter won at the corner. Looking for another goal was Kaylee Hunter. But Sara Olai, former Swedish Youth International, has been really solid at center back for Halifax this season and in today's game as well. Regan finding Small. Lays a pass into Pickett. Back to Small. Going to her left foot, the deflection. And out for a corner kick. Seven minutes and change left in this opening half. And Nikki Small looking for her opportunity from distance. Colby Barnett on the corner with some big targets. Lovely delivery, punched away by McLeod. Kazaki keeping it in and popped over top by Regan. No one oncoming. Ball picked off by Pickett, but Annika Leslie in strong on the tackle, but called for the foul, and now an opportunity for AFC Toronto. Leslie, the 22-year-old Haligonian, just coming through Hunter on the tackle. McLeod organizing her wall, four in the wall. Okoronkwo, watch out for that left foot. And McLeod's got it. Nakamura looking forward to Clegg, and they got mixed up. It went off Manor outside the box. So Nakamura and Clegg working together up front, trying to create something. It very nearly did. Nakamura releasing Clegg, who is off the shoulder of Rollins, and Manor had to stay in touch with her defenders there, or that would have been trouble. Rollins pass picked off. Miller. And Rollins does well to win that back. Barnett now with some space on the left side. Halifax with numbers in line, ready to shut it down. Forced to turn back. Soto. Lovely ball to Nikki Small. Pickett. Small. Tackled by Norcus. Nice touch by Hunter! And the shot was wide. But in a matter of seconds, another opportunity toward goal from Kaylee Hunter. Hunter, the youth international at every level. Kennedy, that work ethic to keep it in bounds. All the way back to Manor. Pickett laid it off to Regan. A little bit of ping pong back and forth in the midfield. Finally Small going 1v1 against Norcus. Stops in her tracks. Just 1 minute at a time in this opening half. 1-1 game between the visiting Halifax Tides and AFC Toronto. Lovely break of lines there. Nakamura to Miller. Is there something late here for the Tides? Miller takes a deflection. Manor slides on top of that. Regan pushes the ball out wide, and that's the whistle for the opening half from Carly Shaw McLaren. 1-1 between AFC Toronto and the Halifax Tides, an own goal in the 5th minute, and then Kaylee Hunter equalizing in the 22nd minute for AFC Toronto. Back and forth opening half. We'll see what the second half has in store in this Pride match at York Lions Stadium. After 45, it's 1-1. You're watching NSL on CBC Gem.
Joined by a player who's been lighting it up on the wing for Vancouver Rise, and by the way, with the Canadian national team as well. Holly Ward, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Well, appreciate you taking the time here on our show, Just Soccer, and you're having yourself quite the season. But I do want to talk NSL first a little bit, because now that you're in it, right, there was just a ton of hype heading into the league, and a lot of players didn't quite know how they were going to feel, or maybe like overwhelmed by emotions. But now that you're in it, how does it feel, this league, the operations, the fans, the other teams? How has it all come together?
I mean, it's been really amazing. Like from the start, like our game at BC Place to now, like the fans have been so good and so amazing. And like every time we're on the ball, they're cheering. They're like, every time we score, they're standing up and shouting. And like, it's such a cool environment to be able to play in. Like, it's genuinely so fun. And like even going to like other people's stadium and other teams' stadiums, it's the same thing. Like it seems as the fans and like the soccer community is kind of like united for all the teams, you know, like they have their team they're cheering for, but they're like really just like cheering for the league as well. So I think that's really cool and like super special for sure.
Big talking point for a lot of Canadian players was just being able to play on Canadian soil, but then you're taking it a step further and you're actually being able to play where you're from, born and raised in Vancouver. So what does it mean to just represent the city, that you actually were raised in? And I don't know, how many tickets do you have to keep getting for family and friends?
So many, so many. But it's honestly so cool. And I think Vancouver's like a spot in a city that's just growing, especially for like women's sports and sports in general. But I think specifically women's sports. So it's been so cool, especially for like my first professional contract, to be able to like drive to the game in my own car, and my parents are just like, all right, I'll see you there. And it's like for the past 4 years I haven't been able to do that when I was in college in Texas. So it's like it's honestly so cool. It's really fun.
How would you describe your style of play?
I hope that I would describe it as exciting. Like I like to like make things happen when I'm on the ball and like take risks. I love dribbling. I love kind of like doing anything I can to create like attacking chances. So like exciting, creative, fun to watch.
Was there a player that you grew up watching that you're like, that's who I want to be like? I'm wondering if there was anyone who inspired your type of style growing up.
I mean, for me, Christine Sinclair was like, I know she was kind of everyone's idol, but for me, she was like my biggest idol ever. I actually grew up in Portland, and so I watched her play in Portland. I would go to every single game wearing a Christine Sinclair jersey, and I was like, I'm gonna be you. I want to be you so bad.
That's a nice little full circle moment, because here's the thing. You get called into the national team. It was a really big deal to see NSL players get called up, 4 in total, and then you became the first player from the league to score a goal for the national team. You also picked up an assist as well in that game. Have you had a moment to digest that?
Sort of. I've been trying to, and I think it's not just like one thing that one day you're like, oh wow, like that just happened, So it's like, it's kind of takes like some time for me, and I've just been like, sometimes I think about, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that was me. Like, I can't believe I did that, and like I accomplished something I've been, trying to do since I was a kid. So I feel like I take everything like day by day, like moment by moment, and I feel like I've been able to like sit down and be like, wow, that was like a really special and like a cool moment for me. But it's kind of in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm on to the next thing as well. Like, I don't want to just be stuck in that moment. I want to appreciate it and be like, that was one of the coolest things and one of like the things I'm most proud of. But that's just like what I'm now starting to do. I want to do more.
A lot of amazing players in the league, and now you've had a chance to play alongside, even against some of the most experienced pros. I'm wondering if there's anyone who's been like an influential mentor to you so far, or maybe there was a game against somebody where you're like, I can't believe I'm playing against them.
I think that's kind of like how I feel anytime I'm playing with the Canadian team. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've watched you guys for so long, like Jessie Fleming, Ashley Lawrence, Janine Sonis, like all these people I've watched since I was a kid. Like my parents have watched with me since I was a kid. So I think I said it in another interview, but I think Jessie Fleming like assisting me on my first Canadian goal was definitely like kind of a surreal moment. I was like, is this really happening? But yeah, I think that's for sure one of those moments for me.
All right. You mentioned it. The fans have been incredible supporting the league. And I'm wondering what advice you would give a 12-year-old girl watching you right now, dreaming of playing in the NSL one day and maybe even perhaps the national team.
I mean, I think like I would just say like anything and everything's possible. You just have to like work really hard for it, and like don't take like minor setbacks and make them major setbacks. Like you can decide like what your reaction from those setbacks are going to be. So just like set your mind to something and like keep working hard at it, because like everything's possible. Like look at me, I just did it. So you can too,
Love that advice. Holly, you're an absolute joy to talk to. Congratulations on so far what's happening in the NSL, and of course the goal with the national team. Really appreciate you taking the time. Good luck with your game this week.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
This is the NSL Halftime Show presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. After 45 minutes, it's 1-1 between the hosts AFC Toronto and Halifax Tides FC from York Lions Stadium. We're going to break down what happened in the first half here. And you just never know what might happen if you send in an early cross. That's the moral here. Wonderful first touch by Sydney Kennedy of Halifax. Gets that early cross in and had Sarah Rollins facing the wrong way towards goal, and you just never know what might happen. Better look at it here. Kennedy just getting it in, and Rollins had Millie Clegg putting pressure on her, and that was enough to cause an own goal 5 minutes into the match. But AFC Toronto certainly did not give up, and they came hunting thanks to Kaylee Hunter, the 17-year-old star with AFC Toronto, going 1v1 and then just finding a little bit of a gap between Halifax's defenders. Another look at it here. Beautiful curving shot inside the post. No chance for Erin McLeod, and it's 1-1 after 45 minutes. Not quite to bed yet, this game. But a look at the first half stats, and it really was all AFC Toronto in terms of total shots and on target. 7-3. Halifax with some through balls, looking to kind of catch AFC Toronto's defenders on their back foot. We'll see if that strategy can play out in the second half. So pretty even in terms of possession. Great halftime show going on at York Lions Stadium on Pride Game. And we'll have more for you. The second half is straight ahead. The North Star is the Northern Super League's new newsletter. Scan the QR code or visit nsl.ca for access to exclusive stories, NSL Finals pre-sale, and much more.
What was it like as an athlete playing in a Pride game? Because I'm so jealous. I obviously never got to do that.
I played, obviously, as you know, at the time where, it wasn't professional at all. Fast forward to the professional game was there and only growing quicker and quicker. So we didn't have a Pride game for probably like the last 5 years. It used to be like we were bare bones enough. We didn't have custom jerseys. Mm-hmm. So guess what? We definitely weren't doing customized rainbow numbers on the back because no one could actually get around to it or get it made or do it. So it was a little bit of like, oh, the business is actually growing enough to execute those things. And that's definitely what I was thinking.
That was a very logistical answer.
You know me, Matheson's, we go to logistics.
Diana Matheson does love a logistics. She loves a stat. What did it?
Because you got to order it far enough in advance, and you have to all the right numbers and the letters. Like, it's not like you can think of it the day before and make it happen.
This is literally why we work though, and why we're soulmates. Because I'm like immediately like, what was the emotion knowing that you were changing lives, and you're like, yo, those spreadsheets, you got to get that
Felt good,
4 months in advance.
Super impressed with the timeline.
I'm just so proud, like truly. I mean, the soccer is great, but more than that, like soccer was never my sport. Mm-hmm. I'm just a sports fan, and I'm a fan of human beings. And given that this has changed your sport so much and so much of the queer community, like that's almost something I'm most proud of. Like you're really giving people an opportunity to feel like they belong and that they're seen and that they're loved. And that is, come on.
Yeah, man.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks. What is a very powerful motivator, which you just said there, is regret. The fear of regret. And you said you in part did that because you'd regret that you didn't. I feel like we've also talked about that in the driver to decide to take on building a league, which we knew was going to be hard. We didn't know how hard it would be. Was this like thought like, oh, if we don't do it, if I don't do it, then like it's either not going to happen or someone's going to do it that doesn't really believe in what it can be. and then it's not going to work, and you're going to have the regret of being like, you could have done something.
It has been a labor of love. Like, I think a lot of people get to see like the shiny product on TV, but we both know like there have been sleepless nights in this pursuit, and I'm just so grateful that you found the strength, and everyone that has helped you, which is a million people, have found the strength to like continue on. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
I still can never make a coffee that she appreciates, though. That is a fun fact. I don't know what my wife wants when it comes to coffee, because I try and make her one every morning, and every morning it goes undrank.
Right.
She can't even defend herself.
Like, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, off the post and in. It's the goal they've been waiting for.
That is a highlight we will see over and over and over again. That is absolutely world class. Oh my goodness.
That wraps up the NSL halftime show presented by BMO. The second half is moments away. 1-1 after 45 minutes. We'll see what kind of action the second half has in store for us. Well, this week, week 10 of the Northern Super League. Still one game left to be played after this one. And that is Vancouver and Montreal. That game will be at Swangard Stadium tomorrow on TSN+. 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific time. And that might decide who's going to be the top of the table going into the international break. AFC Toronto looking to challenge the current table leaders, Montreal Roses. Ottawa Rapid picking up a victory today as well. And of course, the international break coming up. Canada's women's national team with Emma Regan in the midfield, going to be playing on June 27th and July 2nd. Holly Ward, also from the Vancouver Rise, called up to the Canadian national team from the Northern Super League, as well as some international players in this match. If you look at AFC Toronto, Esther Okoronkwo called into Nigeria for the African Cup of Nations. Teams doing their final preparations for this second half. Okoronkwo looking to help out the Super Falcons in this international break coming up. 15 caps for country already with 6 goals played at the World Cup and the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. So the international soccer is on the rise for Esther Okoronkwo. See if there's any substitutions made by either side coming up. We'll confirm that for you. The last time these two teams met, a month ago, it was a 1-0 victory for AFC Toronto. This time around, Lewis Page says his team is more consistent. They're healthier, although they are missing their captain, Gunny Jonsdottir, today. We will see a substitution for Halifax, and it is in goal. Erin McLeod coming out of the match, and Annika Toth going in. So Annika Toth has played 2 matches for the Tides this season, 23 years of age from Oakville, Ontario, so playing in front of family and friends today. She's featured for Slovakia internationally. Dual citizen, of course. So Annika Toth thrown into the match here. Erin McLeod coming out after 45 minutes, made several crucial saves for Halifax in that opening half, including robbing Esther Okoronkwo from in close. And Crichton gets things underway. From York Lions Stadium, 30-degree day. The kind of day when your jersey sticks to your skin. But these teams have been giving it their all through 45 minutes.
Halifax Times substitution during halftime. Leading the game is the number 1 goal defender, 12, entering
Out for a throw in. Thanks again for joining us on CBC Gem. For this matchup, I'm Signa Butler taking you through the action today. Kylie Norkus with the throw in, looking up the pitch to Nakamura off her stomach and out. Let's look at it. Annika Toth. Played university at Alabama at Birmingham. Kennedy was looking for Lemire and out of bounds. Sydney Kennedy wearing the captain's armband today for Jonsdottir, who is ruled out with a knock. Jonsdottir, of course, that game-winning goal in Halifax's first victory of the season. That came 11 days ago, and in talking to Sid Kennedy this week, she said they were chomping at the bit. They were ready to get playing the day after. And Lewis Page, their coach, saying it just showed a extra hop in their step this week, whether it was at practice or in meetings. Just certainly gave the team a lot of confidence coming into this match against AFC Toronto. Now with a deep throw in. Barnett looking forward. Olai will play it back to Toth. Olai had Clegg. She turned, but handled all the way back to Manor. Okoronkwo threading the needle to Hunter. Toth has to backpedal. And she made the save, but it's going to pop in the net. Kaylee Hunter with a brace. Tides were hoping that might have been offside, but Hunter timed her run. And more celebrations for the young striker for AFC Toronto. Let's have a look. Toth got a hand on it, but it wasn't enough to stop that powerful drive from Kaylee Hunter. Fourth goal of the season. And the Vermilion Vanguard with their flags out in full effect. Enjoying a 2-1 lead. But AFC Toronto's Marko Milanovic said they're not taking the Tides team lightly. They're one of the hardest working teams in the league. They have that work ethic. And all of their games but one have been decided by one goal. Some of them a little bad luck. Their record doesn't define where they're at the stadium, at the standings, says Milanovic. Okoronkwo. Pick it out to Barnett. Cheers raining down for Kaylee Hunter. Small. This is where she does her greatest work. Soto pushing forward to win that ball back, and Pickett has it now. Small. To Okoronkwo. Gets the ball across. Trouble. Regan blocked by Leslie. And Halifax under siege right now. Barnett the cross in. Going to the far post, and Okoronkwo had a swing at it, and it was a miss. But it is AFC Toronto on top 2-1. Thanks to Kaylee Hunter, a brace today, taking that through pass and then launching one off the hand of Annika Toth, who's into this match in the second half. Won by Norcus. Kennedy was looking for the mag. And had a hand to the face by Kayla Hansen. They've been battling today. Here comes Okoronkwo. Touch on her right foot, to her left foot. Dancing around Toth. And Esther Okoronkwo giving to AFC Toronto a 3-1 lead. The Super Falcon taking flight. Okoronkwo going to that favored left foot and then scoring with her right for a 2-goal edge over the Halifax Tides. They have come out on the front foot in this second half. The fans are ecstatic at York Lions Stadium. Chapel Rowan, the goal song raining down. The Halifax Tides need to find a little magic here. It's all AFC Toronto in the opening minutes of this second half. And there could be more coming here. Pickett picking off the pass. Okoronkwo with space. Crossing it in, Olai. Heads it away, but it's back at the feet of Okoronkwo. Ball hits the side netting for a goal kick. Halifax can have a breather. There's Esther Okoronkwo. Second in the league in terms of shots taken. Now look at that, the way she rolled her foot over top of the ball. Fourth goal of the season for Okoronkwo. The Tides are not a team to give up easily. Have fought their way back into a few games this season, trailed 3-0 to the Calgary Wild. Came back to a 3-2 decision to the Wild, but showed their fight in that game. Halifax preparing a couple substitutions. Warming up at the sideline. Quick turn by Nakamura. Finds the space to Miller. Lemire. Over top to Kennedy. One touch and the timely tackle by Nikki Small, the tackles leader in the NSL. Halifax with the corner kick. This is something they've been working on. We get our look at our substitutions here. Be before the corner kick or after the corner kick. Kennedy on the corner. Plays it short. Clegg tried to turn against Pickett. A nice tackle. And escapes. So 2 substitutions for the Tides. Gianna Crichton coming out of the match. Marika Gay coming into the match. And Annika Leslie. Not Leslie. Leaving the match, pardon me. Sorola Miller leaving the match, and Daphne Blouin coming in. So Miller and Crichton out for Halifax. Marika Gay, the first goal scorer in Tides history. Scored that at the Wanderers grounds in a 4-1 loss to the Calgary Wild to open the season. There's Daphne Blouin. Youth sports standout from University of Laval, winning a couple medals, 3 of them in fact, at Youth Sports National Championships. They need a little offense now, do the Tides. Pickett earning the foul. Kazaki laying the ball to Barnett. Looking for Hunter. Gay took a stab at that. Nice footwork by Emery, gonna get out of trouble. Small. Okoronkwo having her way right now. Ball bounced in and Hunter was bouncing off of Leslie. Tides managed to get it out of trouble for now. Need to collect their shape. That's something Lewis Page said he's been impressed with their team lately, is keeping tight between their lines, staying compact, getting a little stretched at this stage of the match, 60th minute mark. foul called on Blouin. Millie Clegg, the New Zealand international, the football Ferns, comes out of the match, and Cristobal Oduro coming in for the Halifax Tides. Oduro, one of the leaders on this team from Brampton, Ontario. Extensive pro experience over 12 seasons. We'll see if she can spark something with this team, who desperately needs it, down 2 goals. Pickett to Small. He's trying to thread Hunter. Out for a Halifax throw. Framo has to turn back with no numbers. Long ball looking for Kennedy. Now the ball over top to Kazaki. Toth backpedaling. And Framo edged Kazaki off to earn the goal kick. Nice to see Kadisha Buchanan, Ashley Lawrence in attendance for today's game. June 27th, that match against Costa Rica before they head to the States to play the USA. Kadisha Buchanan still out, of course, recovering from her ACL surgery. But Ashley Lawrence in the lineup there. But great to see Kadisha back, at least in the fold of camp. Such a leader on the Canadian back line, and can't wait to see her return to 100%. Soto taking space, finding Pickett. Small running on, Norcus covers that. Riley Norcus, 29-year-old veteran out of California. Trying to hold up Okoronkwo, back to Small. 1v1 against Kennedy. Can't turn. Regan. Rollins was looking for Small, headed away by Norcus. Hunter, Kaylee Hunter, looking for 3. Nakamura was trying to battle with it. There's a long strike from Emma Regan, and Toth was up to the task. Emma Regan, who's had 2 goals from distance this season. Annika Toth there just in the nick of time. Could have very well been 4-1 AFC Toronto. But Annika Toth with the big stop. Emma Regan on the corner. Curling it in, Toth. Sure hands. If you're just joining us, you're watching the Northern Super League, presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. It's the home team, AFC Toronto, up 3-1 on the Halifax Tides, who are looking for something, and that'll be a foul on Colby Barnett. Trailing 3-1. Long free kick for Lemire. Left foot over top, looking for Gay. Does get a foot on it, not enough. Sauce. And Manor picks that up, no problem. Nice delivery by Karima Lemire. Small, so good at finding those spaces, and finds Pickett, who's elbowed down by Norcus, and Norcus is going to see the books here. Norcus picking up a yellow card for the foul on Pickett, and this is scoring territory for AFC Toronto. Pick your choice of lefties on AFC Toronto. Two of them on the ball right now. Barnett and Esther Okoronkwo can both crack one with their left foot. Annika Toth looking focused, needs to be. Okoronkwo with a step over. Barnett skies it. Shakes her head, knows she could have done better. Leslie draws the foul.
A yellow card has been issued to the Halifax Tides in the 68th minute to number 13, Kylie Norcus.
Oh, Kennedy, nice skill. Tucks behind, but one back by Small. Great battles between these two teams in the middle third. Blouin gets the turn in. Fremont pushing forward. Fremont against Barnett. And the shirt tug Foul called on Fremo. Halifax trying to get numbers forward, but Barnett very good at one-on-one duels. Coach Marko Milanovic saying she's one of those players that brings that work ethic game in and game out. And she's played game in and game out for AFC Toronto. Small gets back in the nick of time. Pickett pulls it back. Back to Soto under a bit of pressure from Oduro. And now AFC Toronto moving forward. Small to Kazaki. To Barnett. Barnett. Regan to Pickett. This is the way AFC Toronto likes to play, ball at their feet. Small turns. Squeaks it through to Regan. Long cross from Rollins. And Toth had to come over top of Norcus. Seems to be all right. I need some medical attention. Couple substitutions for AFC Toronto. We'll get to those while Kylie Norcus is getting treated. Aoi Kazaki coming out. Naoto Katempo coming into the match. And Esther Okoronkwo, one of the goal scorers in today's match, coming out. And Jade Kovacevic is coming into the match. Take another look at Okoronkwo's goal that gave AFC Toronto a 3-1 lead. Look at this little dance right there, right around Toth. Fourth goal of the season for Okoronkwo. Kovacevic, the first signing in NSL history. Been coming in as a second half substitute the last few matches now that she's healthy. Norcus looks to be okay. She'll come off and ask the official to come back on the pitch. Just another look at what happened there. Toth coming off her line, of course, wanting to prevent Kaylee Hunter from having a hat trick, but Norcus was right in the way. And Toth came right through the back of her. "15 minutes left in this match. Time running out for the Tides to try and get back into it. AFC Toronto's been on the front foot in this second half. 2 goals within the first 7 minutes to break this game open. Nakamura, poked away by Regan. Tembo. Regan skips the ball forward. Back to her childhood teammate, Kayla Hansen. Small dancing along the sidelines, broken up by Gay, who draws the foul. Small, one of the most consistent players, according to Marko Milanovic on his roster. Game in and game out, giving 100%. Tremendous amount of skill and foresight on the pitch. Another substitution for the Tides, and we will see Kylie Norcus come out of the game after taking that knock. Hopefully she's all right. For a corner kick, and Valerie Sato into the match. Number 21, 22-year-old Montreal native, played at Memphis. So another corner kick, an opportunity for Emma Regan to deliver a cracking cross. High into the back post, headed away, and out for a throw-in. Tembo and Gay battling. Pickett finds Hunter, looking for 3. Cleared away by Annika Leslie. And a story from the archives for you if you're into a little bit of history. A couple players on the Halifax Tides. Sid Kennedy among them, Annika Leslie, Sarola Miller, Maya Harnish, all on the Nova Scotia Canada Games team back in 2017. They won a bronze medal at those Canada Games in Winnipeg, but on their way there, they played BC in the quarterfinals. A BC team that had Emma Regan and Kayla Hansen and Ashley Cathro of AFC Toronto. Hunter was trying to catch Toth off her line. And another interesting fact from that quarterfinal, the fourth official was today's official, Carly Shaw McLaren. So clearly the development of these players, both professionally and referees professionally, still going strong. Tembo under pressure from Oduro. Oduro finds Sato. Sato looking for Oduro, lays it off for Nakamura. Nakamura's shot well off the mark. But a nice bit of ball movement from Halifax. 10 minutes remaining. There is Emma Regan. So Nova Scotia got the win on that day, but right now it's AFC Toronto with the upper hand today. 3-1, they lead. Leslie, long throw to Oduro. Pickett digs it over to Small, and Pickett earns a throw in. Victoria Pickett, great veteran of this AFC Toronto team. So Kennedy, quick throw. Sato, Lemire. Fremo was looking for Kennedy. Katembo had her covered. Marko Milanovic looking on, pleased with how his team came out in the second half. Hunter. Kovacevic well offside. AFC Toronto with 2 goals within 4 minutes in the second half. Oduro looking for Nakamura. Gets the tackle in there. Good fight now. Nakamura laying it off to Kennedy. Chops it back and cleared. Annika Leslie wins that. But now Toronto's in attack. Sato, good recovery as Leslie was recovering from her run. Leslie looking long for Gay. Halifax trying to create something in those tight spaces. Kennedy cut it back, but there to clean it up was Katembo. Foul called. And Lemire is on it. That swinging left foot. Manor punches it away. And we've got a player down. Sato. Second half substitute coming in. down on the pitch. Grimacing in that knee area. Let's have another look at that free kick. Lemire delivers that well. It was dangerous, wasn't it? And Sato got the worst of it. Manor did well coming off her line. 6'1" Finnish keeper. Of course, a over 30-degree soppy day in Toronto. There's Kaylee Hunter, a brace today. Bring her total on the season to 4 goals. And the 17-year-old going to be training with the Canadian women's national team just as a training partner coming up. So great experience for an athlete who helped Canada's under-17 team qualify for the World Cup. And she surely would have been a part of that U20 squad that won the CONCACAF Championship, also qualifying for the World Cup. She picked up a knock, so wasn't available for selection. Certainly seen the quality of Kaylee Hunter today. Well, the fans have been entertained here on Pride Day at York Lions Stadium. And Valerie Sato is back up on her feet, ready to re-enter the game. Carly Shaw McLaren will just drop it back to Regan. And AFC Toronto will reset with Manor. Gay says, sorry, I was late to that tackle on Small. Hansen turns back, finds Pickett. Under pressure. They get out of it, Katembo. Finds Hunter. Was looking for Kovacevic, and Olai had a foot on it just in time to get it back to Toth. Page urging his team to push forward. Put some pressure on AFC Toronto. Look for a turnover. Something in these waning minutes. Regan weaving her way, winning the ball, and keeping it. Sato, Nakamura turns, Sydney Kennedy. Kennedy 1v1 against Hansen. Kennedy! And that shot blocked by Hansen, out for a corner kick. But Kennedy was one of the players Marko Milanovic said they had to be careful of in this match. They've been stuck to her like glue all night. She did contribute to that first goal for Halifax, an own goal by Sarah Rollins, but it was Kennedy engineering that opportunity. Can she engineer something now in the waning minutes of this second half on the corner kick? Goes past over the head of Manor. Ball into the box. Looking for O'Durl, the header! Just into the arms of Manor. Sarah Olai had an opportunity. Let's take another look. Ball in from Annika Leslie. And Olai couldn't get a full header on it. Halifax pushing. Trying to find one goal, Oduro. Gay. Too much. And Small burns a throw in. 5 minutes of added time. Substitution, late substitution between two youth internationals. It's Kaylee Hunter with 2 goals in this match coming out. April Lantain coming in. Lantain, part of that U20 CONCACAF Champions squad. First championship for Canada in 17 years. Our coach Cindy Tai and her team off to the World Cup in 2026 in Poland. Nakamura. Lemire. Kennedy got tangled up. Entangled with Hansen. Just over a minute into that added time. Small with space. Looking for Lantain. Her first touch. Lantain going one-on-one. Looking for the shot! Just over top of the bar. April Lantain showing her quality, the 19-year-old from Ajax. On that left foot. Kennedy threads it to Leslie. Leslie looking for the shot. Half half cross. Kennedy, tenacious work up front to try and create something. Manor will take her time. It's about 2 minutes left and added time. Lantain, the chase, tried to get the cross in. It will go out for a corner kick. Quick short corner between Barnett and Regan. Rollins. Tembo's got some space. Halifax can't get it out, and it's back to Lantain again. Some confusion in the back. And that's a yellow card on April Lantain. Heavy foul. Halifax hasn't lost by more than a goal since their opening game of the season. Can they get one back with Added time. Almost out. And they won't today. It is the home side, AFC Toronto, buoyed by a brace from Kaylee Hunter and another goal from Esther Okoronkwo. A 3-1 win over the visiting Tides to surge ahead of the Montreal Roses in the standings. Let's take a look at some of Toronto's goals from this match. Kaylee Hunter in the second half, for just 3 minutes into the second half, finding the substitute Annika Toth just off her hands and into the goal for a 2-1 lead. And then part of this goal from Esther Okoronkwo, who just danced around Toth, and 3-1. Both those strikers now with 4 goals each on the season. Oh, look at the second half stats, or full-time stats. Toronto with the bulk of possession and shots in this one against the visiting Halifax Tides. Maybe 11 days rest after their first win of the season. A little bit of rust on their side. But Toronto, full value for that victory today, especially a charging second half. Well, Kaylee Hunter with a brace today for AFC Toronto as they pull off a 3-1 victory over the Halifax Tides. Thanks for joining us. NSL Soccer presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. I'm Signa Butler. Thanks for watching from myself and all of our crew on CBC Gem.